You're kind-hearted. You want to do the right thing. When it comes to helping those less fortunate, there are times you doing an act of kindness may simply perpetuate a problem and make it worse. Watch this.
It really is more effective to give resources to agencies that are organized, coordinated, and work directly with folks than to hand it to them, because one just doesn't know what one's supporting or where that money is actually going to end up. For all of us who receive support for helping the homeless in our community, we're scrutinized by any number of organizations, both private and public. And that's, I think, is what your impact is so much greater going through that format. And there's such a diversity of organizations out that you can pick that one that's working in the way in which you feel the most comfortable. And I think what folks don't understand is you really can be enabling people to stay in situations that are very dangerous to them, extremely dangerous to them, particularly to women, particularly to older individuals, and quite frankly, particularly to young people. And when I see a young person out in the street, and any of us who are encouraging that, we really are encouraging situations that we have no idea about, and that which have the most serious of ramifications. And a quarter, a dollar, $5 is not the solution. There are agencies that are out feeding the hungry every night of the week, and they're out in vans, so they go where folks are out in camps. What I see in many emergency programs is, quite frankly, people are getting up to 4 or 5 meals. That right now, as opposed to being said, why don't you get some help for your mental health issue? Why don't you get some help for substance abuse? Why don't you find housing? The entire day is caught up in moving from one free service to another, be that just a bunk, be that a food, but none of which is that sustaining service that will lead someone to self-resiliency. And frankly, no one knows if an individual on the street holding a sign is what he or she represents themselves as being. We do know, quite frankly, that there is some trafficking involved, that there are individuals who take folks out, drop them off at a spot, pick them up, and then get money from them, part of the take. And whether those folks still are genuinely homeless and they're just sharing that money because they're getting the transportation to wealthier areas to get money, I don't know. But I also know that I see folks who are 300 yards from Restart, from City New Mission, from Hope Faith Ministries, who have their signs who are asking for things. And really, that is somebody who may or may not be homeless. I've seen them teaching young people to do that. And it is counterproductive, and frankly, it's dangerous for both parties. If you encourage people to come to you and take something from the car, you are then giving kind of a commitment that anybody who hands you something from a car is going to be helpful, as opposed to trying to hurt you. And frankly, for women, for members of the LGBT community, for younger people, we're putting them at risk. There is one way to solve homelessness, and it's being verified throughout the nation, and that is to get people into housing as quickly as possible. So it is not to hand things out to them. It is not even to feed them. It's to get housing. And many efforts that are happening with the best of intentions are actually getting in the way of getting people into housing.
If you want to truly help, give your time or donation to one of the many local organizations whose only goal is to help the homeless men, women, and children in Kansas City. I'm Officer Shelley Gaddis. Have a safe week.